quite sure how I follow that, but I'm going to give it a shot here. My name is Lorelei Scarbro, and I live in a little place called Rock Creek, West Virginia, in the Coal River Valley. I work for Coal River Mountain Watch. I'm a community organizer on the Coal River Wind Project. I started with Coal River about 2 years ago. Let me say that my father, my grandfather, my husband, my brothers, my son-in-law, all either were or are coal miners. My son-in-law, the father of my only grandchild, is underground with Massey Energy today. And like Jeff, I'm very, very disturbed about the fact that we still have people dying of black lung. My husband spent 35 years as an underground union coal miner, and it's a very, very, very difficult way to go. We need to stop mountaintop removal, and we need to stop it today. I am on the coordinating committee for the Alliance of Appalachia. I am on the board of directors for an organization called Challenge West Virginia. I'm part of the Rural Education School, Community Trust. And I say all that to say that my focus has finally had to come to my backyard. A couple of years ago, I was a stay-at-home mom for 26 years. I was completely devoted to my family. I liked staying at home and taking care of my family, but what happened a couple of years ago is the fourth largest coal producer in the United States decided they were going to blow the tops off the mountain in my backyard. When they did that, I decided that I had to step forward. And I had to protect everything that I have, along with everything that we have to leave for our children and our grandchildren. I have a 5-year-old granddaughter, and it pains me greatly to think about the quality of water that she'll have when she's of childbearing age. If we don't stop mountaintop removal, she certainly will not have good, safe drinking water, not only my granddaughter, but all of yours. And we need to stop this. There are people, as Jeff said, in the coal fields today who don't have safe drinking water. I have friends and family who today are sick, dead, and dying because of the ravages of the coal industry. We need to stop this, and we need to stop this today. We have made numerous trips to Capitol Hill. We've been in numerous meetings with the Obama administration pertaining to stopping the destruction of mountaintop removal. We were very, very thankful when President Obama was elected because we did believe that he, and still do believe that he is a lot more environmentally friendly than certainly the last administration. But I'm at a point to where I believe better is not good enough. There have been so many big strides that the Obama administration has made this year, including the Memorandum of Understanding, taking a closer look at permits for mountaintop removal. And there's been so many good first steps this year, and it's getting really, really frustrating to say that's a really good first step. We've had so many meetings with the Environmental Protection Agency, Council on Environmental Quality, Environmental Public Works. I was in Senator Byrd's office just a couple of days ago. In the state of West Virginia, where I live in the coal fields, unfortunately, the majority of the state is owned by coal. The politicians, the people who make the laws there, refuse to listen to the pleading from the residents who live in the coal fields, whose lives are dramatically impacted every day by the ravages of the coal industry. Like I said, we're on Capitol Hill. We are pounding the halls of the legislature in the Capitol. We are doing things like getting arrested every opportunity that we have, chaining ourselves to dozers. One day this week, we had people who actually chained themselves to the front door of the Department of Environmental Protection in the state of West Virginia because it is a corrupt institution, and we need to bring national attention to what's going on in the state of West Virginia. One of the reasons I am here and one of the reasons that I am on the road tirelessly is the fact that they don't listen to us in the state of West Virginia. The CEO of Massey Energy has bought himself the West Virginia State Supreme Court. He has bought himself politicians. And while we have a few very good, environmentally friendly, heartfelt politicians in the state of West Virginia, they're severely outnumbered. And they know the risk of taking a stand on what appears to be anti-coal in the state of West Virginia. It is political suicide, and they are aware of that. And so while we pound the halls there, we pound the halls on Capitol Hill, we appeal to the Obama administration. We're asking for meetings with everybody with any of those letters that will sit down long enough to listen to, so they can hear the stories of the people who actually have 3 million pounds of ammonium nitrate and fuel oil detonated over their heads every day. That's what's happening throughout Appalachia in order to extract the coal. The only reason Mountaintop Removal exists is it's a greater profit margin for the coal industry. They don't have to blow the tops off the mountains to extract coal. They do it because it's a greater profit margin. And in the meantime, they have decapitated over 500 mountains throughout Appalachia, and they have covered over 1,700 miles of headwater streams. Now, while you might think that that's just a problem in Appalachia, and that what happens is the waterways that they are covering are the capillaries that feed all the major waterways. So when they're starving off the water supply in Appalachia, it's eventually going to get to us all. The toxins that they dump in the river on Coal River Valley is eventually going to find us all. And while I do live at ground zero for Mountaintop Removal, my property borders Coal River Mountain. The permitted area, the area where Massey Energy wants to take the top off the mountain, my property is actually within 1 mile of the proposed permitted area. They want to totally destroy that mountain, and this is how they do it. 3 million pounds of ammonium nitrate and fuel oil every day. When they blast that rock apart, another thing that they're putting into the air, and the residents who live there, is silica. And I don't know if you're familiar with silica or not, but what silica does is it attaches itself to the lining of your lungs and it turns your lungs into concrete. Now, while the coal industry will say, and they do say, from the hollers of West Virginia to the halls of Capitol Hill, they certainly do say that that what they're doing doesn't affect anybody, that there's nobody living there. This particular mountain, Coal River Mountain, which we have decided a much better alternative for, is a Coal River Wind Farm. Massey Energy wants to blow the tops off of 6,600 acres on Coal River Mountain, and we believe there's a higher and better use for Coal River Mountain, and that would be an industrial-scale windmill farm. We started, this idea was born out of an organization out of North Carolina called Appalachian Voices. They came to us and proposed this idea because this was our backyard, and we jumped on it, of course, and we have worked tirelessly for the past year and a half to go forward with Coal River Wind Farm because we believe that this is a better use for that mountain, and it certainly is. Any rational person would have to believe that. They can also, the coal industry can also continue to extract coal in a responsible way underground while we're producing renewable energy on the surface. This wind farm would bring in for the county nearly $2 million in revenue every year, forever. And the proposed Mountaintop Removal site on top of that mountain, the lifespan of that particular site is 17 years. And that would bring into the county annually $36,000. Now, we have appealed to the county commission. We have appealed to the delegates on our state level. We have appealed to Nikki Jo Rahal, the head of the Natural Resources Committee, who is my congressman. And we don't understand why they are not jumping at the chance to have an extra $1.742 million in their annual budget in this little county in the southern coal fields of the state of West Virginia. The reason they say that they are not is they believe that it would be choosing between wind and coal. And that certainly is not what we're asking. In the area where I live, we live in a model economy. We are pleading daily with our politicians to attract some type of job diversity in the coal fields. We need renewable energy in the coal fields of southern West Virginia. We need renewable energy throughout Appalachia, and our governor, unfortunately, is just not very serious about that. He and a group of people who work for him put together the West Virginia Renewable Energy Portfolio. They worked on that for a couple of years, and while other states got an actual renewable energy portfolio, what the state of West Virginia got was an alternative and renewable energy portfolio. And when Governor Joe Manchin says alternative, he certainly is talking about coal. So we don't believe that our governor is very, very serious about renewable energy in the state of West Virginia. When I met with Senator Byrd's office on Thursday of this week, one of the things that I wanted relayed to Senator Byrd was if Senator Byrd truly is the man of God that he claims to be, then he has to grieve for the suffering of his constituents who live in the coal fields of West Virginia. If he knows, and he has to know because we've been in his office over and over and over. We have hounded our politicians. They know about the Coal River Wind Farm. This would be the largest wind farm on the East Coast. And we have done everything in our power to try to get this thing to go forward and try to save our little part of Appalachia, along with assisting with the rest of Appalachia, and along with assisting, of course, with climate change. And so I am here today to let you guys know that there is a better and higher use for Cold River Mountain. We need your help. We need your support on that. We need you to contact your politicians. We need you to contact your politicians, and Stephanie will go into this more about the Clean Water Protection Act and the Appalachian Restoration Act. Unfortunately, the politicians in the state of West Virginia refuse to be a part of that, and we have appealed to them over and over and over. The politicians on a federal level and the state level are very, very familiar with what we're doing, but because the state of West Virginia, the majority of the state of West Virginia, the people who make the laws, the people who have the power, are certainly owned by coal, we've hit a wall when it comes to the Cold River Wind Project. And we seriously, seriously need to go forward with it so we can salvage what's left of our area and a large part of the Appalachian culture.